edition rock and roll.
Hey, how's everyone doing? It's the Chase Carter Concept Podcast for Thursday, January 28th. I hope everyone's doing well. What's been going on with me lately? You ask? Nobody? Okay. Well, nothing too much. Just hanging out with my girlfriend, trying to get a relationship going, and I need to talk about something that is not been bothering me, but is interesting, is entertaining, it's funny. My girlfriend is extremely kind, considerate, caring. A lot of words. But she is selfish in these weird little ways. And it's interesting to try to bring this up to her because she is very, whatever you want. Like whenever we go get food, it's whatever. She says it's whatever you want. And then we play this back and forth game like most couples do. And it's just like, just tell me what you're interested. Or now we're just in and out once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. That's our date night. So we go out, we have fun. Now we're going out a little bit more that places are actually opening up in California. It's weird. It's almost as if the politicians realize that if you keep restaurants closed, they'll go out of business. Even the really nice ones that they like to go to. So we've been going out a little bit more, just hanging out with each other. And Corey has some friends. I introduced her to some of my older friends. Now they're friends, so they go out and have a few drinks. And it's so nice. It's so nice that she has friends now and she can get out of the house and let me play video games and get some peace and quiet. But her selfishness shows off in these little weird ways. She wanted me to show her different types of games because I showed her Sea of Thieves. She liked that. There was another game we tried to play her, show her Ori and the Blind Forest. I think it's Blind Forest. Let me double check that. No, it's Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Yeah, Blind Forest. For some reason, when I said that, I wasn't. Like, is that the right name of the? So that 2D side-scrolling game she doesn't like, even though she says, "Oh, I loved Mario." Every woman says she loves Mario and doesn't actually play. She watched it when her brothers, someone else in the house was there, and then everybody else says it's cool, so then they copy it. Just how the women are getting into football all of a sudden. Fantasy football. It's like, what? This has been going on for years, and all this. Good for you getting in on it. But where's all the nerd, I'm making fun of stuff, comic books? All of a sudden, they love Thor. They love comic book characters. Get out of here. You're not being honest. But it's interesting because their selfishness, we played Gears of War, the very first one. They had a remastered version. We played the original. She didn't like it because the graphics. So she's a graphics whore. That's a video game term. She didn't like it because it didn't look new and fresh. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to introduce you to a third-person cover-based shooter. That's what I'm trying to introduce you to. Different way of playing games. So when you play other games, you have the knowledge of it. So, which was by her request. So she's like, okay, I kind of like this. I'm kind of enjoying myself. I'm going to go. It's too slow, she said. Gears of War is too slow. Not slow. She just wasn't invested in it. We get all the way up to the last level, and then she quits. She doesn't want to play anymore. All the way up to the last level. All the way up to the last level. Then she watched me play Red Dead. She's like, oh, that looks interesting. That looks cool. So I buy her Red Dead Online. We played Red Dead Online 2 or 3 times. Now she's done with Red Dead Online. She's like, I want to play Sea of Thieves. So she's only going to play Sea of Thieves. And I don't know, it's a little disappointing. I realize my girlfriend is video game selfish. And I don't know what to do about it. It's definitely a conundrum. It's an issue. every other area we got into this, she wouldn't. We were trying to light the heater um, in the apartment, and she wouldn't let me talk. Let me talk. I'm trying to explain the gas valves, and when the gas valve is um, lined up, not parallel, but just on top of it, like it's flowing with it, that means the gas can be let through. And when it's horizontal, I don't know if that's even perpendicular. Yeah, perpendicular, it's off, and when it's parallel, it's on. That's how valves work, as far as I know. She said it was the opposite, and I'm thinking, what is going? I was like, this isn't. But then the pilot light, I don't understand. There's um there's the main gas valve to the heater, and then there's the gas valve to the pilot light, which I don't understand why there's two separate ones, but maybe for safety reasons. I don't know. I'm not a heating expert. I'm not a gas expert. So I make it parallel, the pilot light, and then you have to press it down for 10 seconds in order to get a light. We finally get it lit. Took a little bit, took a little while. And then the instructions said, or Corey said, I'm thinking in my head, well, just leave it open, leave it parallel, and then the pilot light will. But no, you have to turn it off. Well, I turned it off, and then the fire went out. So we had to light it again. Then I turned it off again, but this time magically it's still on. So I don't understand how anything works. So apparently, even if the main gas line is on, the pilot light gas is off, there's still gas being leaked into the house. That's what I've come to find out. But apparently, not enough gas to cause any issues. I hope. Who knows? But that was an interesting. I was like, okay. I was trying to explain how the pipes work, and she wouldn't listen. And so I had to talk over. I was like, look, this is how the pipes work. This is how the pipes work. I don't know what it says in the instructions. I couldn't read the instructions because I'm holding down the button and I'm in this cramped position. My back is hunched over, and she's the one reading the instructions and lighting, trying with the lighter, trying to light the pilot. And we just got into this little. I was like, look, this is what how gas pipes work. I don't know what it says in the instructions, but this is how it works. I was like, let me explain what I'm. Every time I got like a half a sentence in to explaining what I'm thinking and just an idea, she would go, well, actually, I was like, look, can you please just let me? Can I say my idea? Can I say my 3-sentence long what I'm thinking in my head, and then you can dismiss it or have a retort. Always cuts me off. Always cuts me off in conversations. It's like there's one of those people that don't listen, and then she fell asleep. She wanted to she wants cuddles, and then when she wants cuddles, she also likes to talk, or she says have a conversation, but she really doesn't want to have a conversation. She wants to talk. She doesn't care about listening, and I proved it because I was thinking, hey, I'm going to tell her a little bit about my childhood. Told her about my cousins and my uncle terrorizing me with this made-up character that would steal, or this made-up monster that would steal my toys. Told her that little 2 or 3 minute story. Then I was telling her about when I got in trouble, I was going to get spanked. And in our house, we scheduled spankings. So if you did something wrong during dinner, it's like you're going to finish your dinner. You're going to go get ready for bed, and you're going to come back in the kitchen. You're going to get spanked. Granted, it happened like 2 or 3 times because I was such a good kid. Didn't do anything wrong. But when you start to test boundaries, you step out of line, you get a wooden spoon, or you get a quick little spanking. And so my story, I'm in the middle of telling her. It's like, yeah, so I put on my little pajamas, and then I realized that I had 5 to 10 other pair of pajama pants down there. So why not put a few more on, and just it'll be a little bit of a padding. Of course, I'm a little kid, and I put 10, and I think it's unnoticeable. So I walk in to get spanked, and then my parents just start laughing. And I didn't even get spanked. I wasn't even going for a laugh. That wasn't my intention. But they just saw a little kid, I was probably 5 or 6. I think I remember it. think so, maybe. I just remember the bed being huge, and I kind of had to look up. I had little flashes of memory, and they just looked at me standing there with 10 pairs of pajama pants on. And they was like, "Get out of here! Get out of here! You're an idiot! Get out of here!" They didn't call me an idiot, at least in my presence. Um, but yeah, so I was in the middle of telling that story. I got to the point where I put on 10 pairs of pants. She's falling asleep. Her eyes are drooping. And I'm like, I'm done talking to you. She, no, I wasn't falling asleep. I like to listen with my eyes closed. She said that out loud. So she can tell me all of the stuff about her family. Sisters, cousins, uncle. And I have to have eye contact and reply, uh-huh, wow, really? And then have questions that enhance her story so she can keep going on and on. When she comes home from work and everyone complains about work, she just goes on and on about work and tells me about 10 people who I've never met. One person I've met before, 9 other people I don't know. Well, 2 who I've met before. And the other 7 people, 8 people, I don't know how to do math. I don't know. So if you're telling me a story where it's an Ocean's 11 cast of characters and I have to visualize it in my head, I don't know. I'm not following, but go ahead. Tell your story. Just try not to make it really, really long, please. And speaking of long stories, this podcast is me talking for an hour. So I know how hypocritical I sound. But that's not the point. The point is, I have to listen. I have to listen. Otherwise, I'm an asshole. If she doesn't listen, she's just tired. Okay. I understand. Double standards all over the place. And speaking of double standards, I was watching this TV show. It's called A Teacher. Has Kate Mara. She's little. She's tiny. I didn't know how tiny and little she was. It's on Hulu. And like FX and Hulu are combined. Some weird thing. I heard it was pretty good. Now, it's not for children. Just going to say that. Has Kate Mara, Nick Robinson, Ashley Zuckerman. And it's a good show. It's about a teacher, a female teacher. She's in her probably late 20s. She hooks up with one of her students, a 17, almost 18-year-old soccer star, whatever. He needs help tutoring. She finds that he's from a single parent home. She's from a single parent home. She has a relationship already. I don't know if they're married. I'm only 5 or 6 episodes in. But the double standard. Women complain about it. I'm going to complain about it. If this movie, this is getting rave reviews. It's already one of the top, they said it's the most watched show on Hulu. Beating all these most watched, whatever. If this movie was a 30-something-year-old male teacher, hooking up with a 17-year-old woman, girl, this wouldn't be able to be made. So why is that? Is it because, why is that? Is it because Kate Mara is hot? We all want to bang a hot female teacher? I wonder. I would like to see. Would it be even made, released, or anything? Would it be so gross? Because you see those like when you watch movies and the girls are in high school, those girls are damn near 30 years old. They put on makeup to make themselves look like a little kid. And it's weird. You see them in advertisements later, and there's some grown adult woman. You're like, hey, I know you as a little kid. That's a little weird that you're drinking, but it's just, it's acting. It's make-believe. But it's real weird how this is getting praised by everybody. Oh, it's so good. We need more. We need another season. It's like this woman had sex with a minor. Now, granted, it's not that big of a deal. But it's the double standard I would like to point out. It's unbelievable. It's not unbelievable. I understand it. I don't care. There's 1 or 2 teachers I would have loved to hook up with, and I wouldn't have been. And then they try to make the woman a sympathetic figure, like she has some kind of um, sexual addiction issue or mental. Like, no, she just wanted to hook up with the hot young kid, a hot young man. That's what. It's like he's 18. He's 18. It's fine. He's 18. Ugh. But if you want to see Kate Mara, that's a good show to watch. I think it's 10 episodes, and each episode's 30 minutes. I recommend that. It's a good. It's a good show. I like it. I like it. That's for sure. But what else? There's something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, Corey, bringing her up again. Her being an attractive woman, she gets asked out continuously, and I understand that. You know, I'm a good-looking man. I get asked out by women all the time, so I tell her, you know, I understand how it feels. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, I understand the plight of being attractive. Now, when she asks me, how do I tell somebody I don't want to hang out, but in a not in a bitchy way, because it was somebody from work, a patient of hers, I guess. And so I just told her, just say whatever he's saying. Oh, do you want to go out to eat? Do you want to go out on a hike? Whatever. Just say, I only go out on hikes. I only go out to eat with my boyfriend. That's all you have to say. And then what she put wasn't that. It was something else. Then she said out loud, well, can I invite him to hiking with like some weird things, like maybe because this guy apparently is married with kids. So it's interesting, and I don't understand the idea of not wanting to hurt someone's feelings, but telling someone no isn't hurting their feelings. You can just say no. You don't want to hang out with them. So it was this issue, but not an issue. I don't know. It was just real weird. Like, how can someone, to me, if somebody wanted to hang out with me and I didn't want to hang out with them, you would just kind of say, you would say no. You're like, that's probably not going to happen. Now, it depends on how well I know them, or what. If some stranger, you kind of just ignore them, right? It's real simple to ignore somebody. And this person, they don't work with her. They don't see her consistently. It was just one of the hundreds of servicemen she serviced. Military men she serviced. That would have been better. Military men she serviced. But yeah. And I was like, if you want to go hang out with him, I'm not stopping you. I'm not going to be one of those boyfriends that keep a fucking leash on their girlfriends. Like, you can't go do anything with somebody else. He's like, no, I don't want to. I just want to know how to say no. Like, what is going on in your brain? How do you not say no? No, thank you. You know, this is how you say no politely. No, thank you. I have a boyfriend. You don't need to say I have a boyfriend. I'm not even egotistical or care about that. Just say, no, thanks. No, thank you. I've asked girls out and they said no, thank you plenty of times. And I didn't think that they were a bitch. I got a no, thank you, and God bless one time. She brought the Lord into it. I was like, I don't think we should bring Jesus Christ into this right now, okay? Thank you. It was a really cute girl working at a Safeway, and she was collecting the carts. I got turned down by somebody who collects carts, shopping carts. And I had a really good job. I worked at the bank at the time. Shopping, food for less, went out. This was 10 years ago, I want to say. About 10 years, right? 23. Yeah, I was working at the bank still. Yeah. Unbelievable. The God bless part was unbelievable. Not that she said no. That's neither here nor there. As a guy, you just have to, some of my friends, nobody likes being turned down. But if you don't, the guys who benefit the most as far as having girl. They don't care if a girl says no. It doesn't hurt their feelings. They're like, do you want to go out? No, no, I have a boyfriend. Okay, cool. You have a nice life. Do you know why? Because there's another attractive girl 10 steps away. Now, the personality and I would say just, personality, sense of humor. I guess that would go along with personality. You never know how that's going to link up. Mesh is the word I'm trying to think of with yours, but you figure that out as you're dating. But as far as someone attractive, I wouldn't mind looking at that for the foreseeable future. And anyone who says that physical appearance does not matter. Yes, it does. We all know it does. So shush. If you're not physically attracted to your partner, it's not going to work out if you want to stay monogamous, unless that person is extremely wealthy and is paying your bills. But just say no, thank you. It's an easy way to do it. It's interesting. I don't want to seem like a bitch. That's what the thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Or I'm not allowed to date clients. Patients, clients. She's a lawyer. My client. It's interesting how she's not able to do it. And then people are listening to this. Che, she wants him. You're not understanding. That's fine if she does. Give me a week's notice. I'll pack my stuff and get out of here. No problem. I'll be sad for a little while. I'll buy another Xbox game and I'll be okay. Go to the gyms that are hopefully going to open up soon. Get in even better shape. Even better. I'm already in. I make myself be in a single mindset. I'm going to go work out. I'll show her. No, but our relationship, as far as I know, on my end, it's great. She seems like she's happy. She comes home smiling all the time. Now, granted, she does smile all the time. So if you're happy all the time, she's happy about 95%. She's one of the more pleasant people to be around that I've ever encountered. But then, I don't know if I said this on the last podcast, but I showed her Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, or The Dark Knight, excuse me, and then The Dark Knight Rises. She, spoilers for The Dark Knight Rises, one with Bane in it. There's a scene where I don't know why Jason Gordon-Levitt's character first of all, knows who Batman is. This is an issue I've always had. By looking at Bruce Wayne's face and his fake smile. And instantly goes to, that's Batman. That's the dumbest excuse of why someone knows who Batman is. Yeah, I know. I know you're Batman. How'd you know? Well, Bruce Wayne, this billionaire, came to our foster home, came to the boys' home, and I can tell he smiled, and it was a smile that people practice, and I recognized it right away because that's what I do. So Batman, huh? Anyways, he slowly becomes a Batman helper, and then they tease that he's Robin when he goes and gets his stuff from the boys' house, whatever, that he left there when he was a kid, or I forget what it was, like his legal name. He had to pick something up where he had to say his legal name, and it was Robin. It's like it should be Dick Grayson. Hey, Christopher Nolan, Robin. Am I new? I'm going to say something that I heard the kids saying. Are you new here? Dick Grayson is Robin. Don't put Rob. Of course, Corey loved it. She's like, it is Robin. That's what I was thinking. You say Dick Grayson, And then the people who don't know anything about Batman go, who's Dick Grayson? And then their boyfriend, who's they're sitting next to, is going to go, that's Robin's real name. Because if his name is Robin, the character that he is can't be Robin. Your alias can't be your real name. So that doesn't make any sense. Unless he's going to take Batman's place as a guy named Robin. As far as I know, that's not a thing in Batman comics. Now, Robin has become Batman. I understand that. Maybe that's what he was going for. But he has to be Robin first. Right? Or am I going crazy? Or just the duality of a Robin becoming Batman? I don't. And then Jason Gordon-Levitt is Batman? Huh? That little tiny boy? He can play Robin all day. But to become a Batman? To become the bringer of justice? No. Don't think so. Pretty sure not going to do it. Now, the detective part makes sense. And you could argue that he might be a better detective because how does Bruce Wayne have all these detective skills? These police skills. You can say the League of Shadows helped him. But it would make more sense from a detective. He was a detective. But this Robin was only a detective for a few months. Weeks even. Like Batman, the world's greatest detective. Little issues with it. Oh, but then, so we're watching this, and then Corey sees that he's gonna. The clerk says, "Oh, you should go by your real name. You know, it's a nice name, Robin." And then she goes, "Is he gonna be Robin Hood?" Like that's a different character. Yeah, he's gonna dress up in green tights and shoot bows and arrows. That's not even okay. Okay, so you don't know anything about movies. You don't know anything about movies. Has she seen Robin Hood Men in Tights? Probably not. Has she seen Robin Hood with Kevin Costner? Definitely not. She watches these movies and then doesn't remember that she watched them. Then she wants to go because she saw King Kong vs. Godzilla trailer, which apparently looks awesome. I haven't seen it. Don't want to see it. So I saw a few pictures. Get out of here. I'm going to see it. Okay, you got my money. What are you making? King Kong vs. Godzilla? I'm there. Here's my money. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Same thing with the Mortal Kombat movie. I see all these freaking news articles that I want to click on. Stop showing me those things, please. And I don't want to say I'm not interested in topics like this because then it won't show me anything at all. I don't want to. Mortal Kombat, I'm there. I'm there. Now, granted, the trailer is for people who aren't Mortal Kombat fans. I understand why they exist. I'm not saying don't make them. But somehow, I would like technology. I would like a setting in my search engine. If you make a Matrix movie, I'm there. I'm there. Okay? Godzilla movie, there. Lord of the Rings, Batman, Marvel movies. I'm there. Do you want my money now? Can I pay in advance for these things? Please. I want to know. I'm interested. But I wish the settings, I can put in the titles of things and then movies, trailers, whatever, news, and then never see it again. Just takes it away, washes it away. But then I want it to be for movies because I want to kind of know about the video games coming out. If there's some kind of, other form of media, different comic books, whatever. I want to see those. I want to follow that. But movie trailers? No, I'm good. Because when I'm in a movie theater, I watched these trailers. I used to watch them over and over. Maybe I just have to watch them once, and then, but I'll remember certain scenes in the trailer. Like, that's really cool. But then I'll wait for it in the movie. and I won't enjoy the movie. So for my own, just forget the trailer. I got it. There's another movie I was watching with Corey. It's a good something Express. I can't remember. Hold on. It has Samuel L. Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones. It's on HBO Max right now. What is it? It's a real. The Sunset Limited. Yes, a train express. The Polar Express. Good job, Chase. My memory is fantastic. See, a black ex-con and a suicidal white professor share a psychological. Shows everyone how much I read. Philosophical debate within the confines of a New York tenement apartment. Tenement apartment? Is that how you say tenement? A New York apartment. Can't you just say New York apartment? Why add a word? What does tenement mean? What does tenement mean? It's a tenant. It's like a rentable apartment. I mean, a large building that has apartments or okay. So it just says a large apartment building. A tenement. Okay, good movie. I've only watched the first. Me and Corey watched this, and it's them talking for. I think it's going to be an hour and a half of them just talking about life and God and religion, and it's a really good back and forth so far. Corey again. If there's things not exploding, if there's not some hot male character or some sexy chick with big boobs, she's out. I think she's the guy in the relationship. I really do, as far as her likes and dislikes. But it's good. If you like conversation and if you like the whole there is a God, there isn't a God type of conversations, which I always enjoy. It's a good watch. But yeah, then I found it interesting. I don't know. I think that I'm pretty. The stock market is. I wouldn't say the stock market is real. It's a thing. But the way, if you don't know, there's these Reddit users and a whole bunch of them decided to buy GameStop stock because it was really low. Because all of these hedge fund people kept thinking it was going to go low and low and low and low. So they shorted the stock, which I just finally understood what shorting a stock, how it works. Which explains my financial situation now. How do you, it's like you buy something at one price, say $10 a stock, and then you go sell to someone for that $10. That's how I understand it. But then how does it? I understood what it was a second ago, but now I'm trying to say it out loud and it's not making sense. So you borrow a stock you borrow. Sorry, that's what you do. You borrow a stock. So say you have 30 days to borrow it. So I'm going to borrow this stock. I can do whatever I want with this stock for 30 days, but I have to give the stock back to that person after 30 days. And that stock has a value. So I can technically sell that stock, but I have to give back the stock itself. So if I go sell the stock to somebody, like if the price drops, I don't understand. But now I'm lost again. I watched a video about it and I understood what the smart person on the video said. But then I don't understand. So if you borrow gold, like I'm going to borrow that piece of gold and it's worth $10 right now. This is unbelievable. I had it in my head. If I borrow gold from somebody and I have to give it back after 30 days, but I have to give the money back or the stock back. I'm pretty sure I have to give the stock back. But you have to sell it back to him at that. That's what it is. That's what I was like, how does that make any sense? I got it. Everyone's here. Everyone's there. So you have to sell the stock back to him at whatever price it is then. So 30 days later, whatever the stock price is, you don't give it back to him. You have to sell it back to him. So You're not borrowing it. You're buying it with the promise of selling it back. So if the stock drops, it's like, hey, I'm going to give you $10 for that stock, but I have to sell it back to you, which doesn't make any sense. You're betting on something to fail, which is interesting way of doing business. But you get the stock for $10. The stock drops to say $1, and then when you have to sell it, by the time you have to sell it back, it's $1. Then you made $9. You made the difference. But if it goes up, then you have to pay that much. So when you're shorting a stock, obviously you want it to go low. And so I guess all these people on the internet on this Reddit post saw that this huge hedge fund put a whole bunch of money in it. And so into the stock to short it. So if it goes up, it's bad for them. And they don't like hedge funds, apparently, people on Reddit. So they got hundreds of thousands of people to buy GameStop stock. And so when you buy it, you're buying it from other people. And so the price is going to go up. And they got it up from like $4 or $5 to, I think it was at like 500 or 600 at one point. And so and they're keeping it at a really high number. So when people shorted it at 4 something and were thinking it was going to go way, way low. So the deficit, they're kind of manipulating the stock market, but that's what the hedge fund people do anyway. They put out an article, it's a liquid nitrogen leak. Oh, yeah, trading limits. Yep, face high legal bar. That's interesting. So these hedge fund people are going to have to, when you give the stock back, pay what it's worth then. So instead of paying the $1 or $2 or whatever on these hundreds of thousands of stocks, they're going to have to pay them a couple $100 for all these hundreds of thousands. And that's, I guess, billions of dollars. And it's really, but what is really interesting is they halted your ability to buy the stock, but not to sell it. So you can sell when a stock gets volatile or too volatile, they can stop you from buying it, which doesn't make any sense. It's kind of cheating, because if you set these rules up, if I buy a stock and then it skyrockets and I think it's going to go even higher and it's real volatile. I can't even say that word right. Volatile. Why shouldn't I be able to buy more? It's because they understand that this game can be manipulated to such a degree where they don't want a whole bunch of people what is it? They don't want a whole bunch of people to make money. It's interesting, but if it goes up naturally, if it goes up what they consider naturally, then it's fine. So what's the difference? So they put these limits. I understand the limit on it dropping, so you don't have these wild, crazy gambling. So I don't know, because they put, like, when the whole stock market crash and all that happened back they put on these like circuit breakers, they call them. So if a stock rises or goes down a certain percentage, they halt all trading on it. And it's just like, it's kind of letting you know that it's this made up game. Like, everyone's playing within these rules, but not really the rules. It's like, if a bunch of people want to go buy a stock, they should be able to. And then they made it, they had this, a group thread on Reddit, a group. And this is weird. Anyone can join the group for free and get information about what the next plan is. And then they had to make Reddit shut that group down as far as people joining it because of hate speech. So, like, is it really hate speech? Because the whole internet has hate speech. You'd have to shut down your website, Reddit, if you don't want hate speech to be involved. So it was just a way for them to not get any more people in there. So a whole bunch of people don't join. It doesn't get really hot. And then they go after other stocks. So I'm like, why are you stopping? It's like it's like the poor people or the middle class people figured out, like, hey, if we all get together, we have the same buying power as a huge hedge fund. Let's all do this. And then the hedge fund people go, whoa, 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 shut them down. No, figure out a way. Well, we can't stop them from talking. Say It's the internet. Find some hate speech. There's going to be some hate speech. There's going to be something about Jews. They're going to say the N-word a few times in there. Turn it off. It's like, that's why you shouldn't be able to censor anybody. It's because some user can go in there. Say I wanted that whole thing shut down. I go in there, say a few racist terms, it gets shut down. I'm on an anonymous username, and now my competition can't talk anymore, can't grow, can't get bigger. And that's a conspiracy for you. It's interesting. It is interesting. Who says you can and can't buy stock? I went to, because I had AMC went up from a couple bucks to 20. I think it's back down to like 10 right now. Went up like 500%, something crazy in a day, because they were doing that with AMC. And it was like, no, I wanted to buy some at 10, because I'm thinking it's going to go, movie theaters, I think are going to come back. Or be retrofitted, let's say. Not retrofitted. Retrofitted would be slimmed down, more profitable. This is kind of, I don't know. So what in the news did I see that makes me interested? I don't know. There's this funny story. I guess on Jeopardy, they had a question. They showed a picture of Dave Chappelle and said, "Who is this?" And none of them got it right. He's arguably the biggest comedian on the planet. But hey, that's still, there's 3 people on Jeopardy. Or 4? Is it 3 or 4? 4? 4 people on Jeopardy. They have no idea who you are. It's kind of like, whoa. How do you not know? I guess you're in books all the time and you're not watching the Chappelle show 20 years ago. This is an interesting article from My Modern Met. 1,500-year-old Greek inscription reading Christ, born of Mary, was found in Israel. Interesting. Many precious artifacts. I'm going to go ahead and read this article because I like this history stuff. Many precious artifacts of human history still lie undiscovered, waiting for excavation. Archaeologists in Israel have recently made an extraordinary find which adds to the scholars' knowledge of local life in the region 1,500 years ago. A stone fragment covered in Greek inscription was unearthed. It's always the Greeks. What does that mean? I don't know. Was unearthed in the remains of a religious building. The fragment's engraving begins with the words, Christ, Son of Mary. I don't want to know. No notifications. Who clicks on yes on notifications? A phrase commonly used as a blessing by early Byzantine Christians. The fragment goes on to give clues about its function and location. An ancient church in Tibia? Taiba? I don't know how to say that. In the Valley of Israel. Jezreel Valley of Israel. So it's kind of, so 1,500 years ago, they were, yeah, God. Sometimes like this, man. They knew about that. I don't know if this picture, it's a pretty cool, see, like the Greek lettering, there's T's, A's. I guess a lot of our stuff does come from the A. That's the A from Assassin's Creed. It all makes sense. It all makes sense now. Rare book. Okay, come on. Can you reload up? Because there was another archaeological find that I found interesting. It was a Book of the Dead. Come on now. Favorite pages. Come on, Google. You can do it. You're going to block me because I'm conservative? So this is on Sci-Fi Wire, which I don't the Sci-Fi Channel? Is this what it is? Ancient Book of the Dead scroll found in Egyptian tomb. It might be found. It might not be found in human skin like the notorious Necronomicon seen in the Evil Dead flicks, but this ancient Book of the Dead scroll recently excavated at the Saqqara Necropolis. I don't know what that means. I don't know. In Egypt does act as a chilling guide to the afterlife. Internal archaeologists led by famed Egyptologist Dr. Hawass have unearthed a new hoard of antiquities at the 24. Sorry, I read that wrong. 4,200-year-old funeral temple of Queen Nerit, the wife of Pharaoh Neti. See, it's always the women keeping all these books and stuff, all these decorations. Besides the 13-foot long Book of the Dead, 13 feet long. She was a size queen. Scroll depicting paths to the netherworlds of the deceased. The treasure also includes over 50 wooden sarcophagi. Wow. A Senate board, SENET board. I guess it's, what a little board game. You're in afterlife, you're going to need to play some games. Do you want to play some Yahtzee? No, I want to play Senate. A riverboat with rowers, a statue of Osiris, wooden masks, Anubis shrine, burial. Dang, a whole bunch of stuff. I guess that's what they meant by hoard. Yeah, so they found this huge scroll that depicts the land of the dead, 4,200 years old. Can you imagine touching something that, and that's not even that long. Oh. In the grand scheme of things, that's nothing. 4,200 years ago. It's interesting. Shaq got in trouble. It's a hard, there's a transition. Shaq got in trouble because he, not trouble, but people had issues with him asking Donovan Mitchell. He's like, well, what do you think if I said you don't have what it takes to get to the next level? He wanted to see Donovan Mitchell's reaction because he doesn't know Donovan Mitchell. He wants to see kind of his character, what his mindset is. Now, to do that on national television, it's a little interesting. You can warn the guys like, hey, Shaq's going to ask you, wants to surprise you with a question. You might take offense to it. And then if the guy goes, yeah, no problem, I don't care what he asks, go ahead and do it. But if you're going to surprise a guy, say, hey, I don't think you have what it takes. What are you going to say to that? And Donovan Mitchell's on national television, like, okay, dude, I don't care what your opinion is. Could care less. Like social media, I get made fun of hundreds of times a day on social media. So what is your problem with me? Shaq, the guy who got fat during NBA seasons, who didn't work hard 100% of the time. What are you going to tell me? Donovan Mitchell sitting there is like, I've been in better shape. I was in better shape when I was 12 than you were at probably your entire career. I'm not talking about physical size and strength. I'm just talking about in shape. Like, what? Stop it. It's like, Shaq, if you were my size, you would not be in the NBA. That would be my rebuttal. It's like, Shaq, I'm really good. In fact, if you were my size, you wouldn't be in the NBA. So shut your mouth. If you weren't a 7'2" monster, 7-foot tall monster, name one skill he had other than his agility, his mobility. A skill, a basketball skill that he was really good at. He was an okay passer when they had to double team you all the way. His ball handling? No. His shooting? No. His free throws? No. So what was Shaq's gift? Oh, he was just naturally bigger and stronger than everybody. Oh. Whew. Donovan Mitchell does pick and rolls, runs a team. He can pass, he can dribble, he can shoot, he can dunk on people. He can do way more basketball things than Shaq. Way more at his size. That's why I never players like Kevin Durant who are skillful, players like Kyrie who are skillful, Steph Curry, skillful. They're not, LeBron James is becoming really skillful now, but he used to be just bigger than everybody, bigger and stronger. Now that he's slowing down, he's not going to be able to, but he's relying on more strength, which is interesting to watch him play that way. But as far as skill goes, his passing is unbelievable. But something about, I don't know, it just doesn't make, it's not he's out thinking a player. Passing he is, but I don't know about driving. I don't really know. I guess LeBron, you can go both. You can go both ways in LeBron. I'd go both ways in LeBron. But it's interesting to break down people. It's like when Derrick Rose lost his physical gifts, his speed and his jumping ability. He's an average point guard, like average to below average point guard. So the thing that it wasn't his shooting, that wasn't his handling, it was just his athletic ability. And that's why when people analyze players, I think that should be a big factor about how you say pay a player, how an organization would invest in a player later in his years. Like, can this guy be effective later? Like, is he a good? Can he become a spot up shooter? Does he play good team defense? Does he shade people into help? Into help defense. There's little things like that add up, and it's just you have this physical peak for 10 years, and then you have to start actually playing basketball and outthinking people instead of out jumping them or outrunning them. It's a mix, obviously, but it's interesting seeing Jack Sparrow's drunk walk is secretly genius. What does that have to do with anything? Victorville gym owner charged in Capitol attack. Even my hometown. Now that's an interesting thing. I want to end on the Capitol and the impeachment. I'm going to put it at the end. I don't want to see him get impeached. Just because I want to see like the Trump is back trailers to AC/DC. I just want to see. In 2024, if he comes back as a lover of professional wrestling bad guys, I would love to see that dude just come back. Our produce standards. Sorry about that. I'd love for that guy to just come back. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, the Republican nominee for the 2024 presidential election is if that trailer doesn't happen, I swear to God, I don't think AC/DC probably wouldn't want to be affiliated with Trump, but oh my God, just the professional wrestling political ramifications that would make me smile. I just want to see that. But it'd be so funny. He just comes out in an all black suit. I'm back. They can't keep me down. Just come. Oh, that'd be so funny. People like Trump because he's not boring. I wonder if Trump goes away for a while and he doesn't make the news, if these news media outlets who make money off of views are going to miss him because he's not out there saying outlandish stuff. He's not out there pissing people off just by the way he looks and walks and talks. I would love to see CNN's profit report for the first like 4 months of Joe Biden's presidency. And so he's like, who do you miss the bad? You miss the bad guy. But I want to talk at least as seriously as I am able to about the Capitol attack and then the impeachment. So if the Democrats if people feel that Trump should be impeached for what he said, for telling the people to march, even though he said peace in the speech, he said peaceful. So I don't understand. Peacefully protest, lawfully. Remember, obey the laws. I mean, he said that, but they don't show that part of the speech. It's like we have to go down there, march on the Capitol. It's like, well, march on them, yeah, but not break in. That's not what march on means. Just how I've said this before. It's like when politicians, if a politician says you have to go down there and fight for your rights, they're taking your rights away we have to fight for America. And then some people go down there and punch a whole bunch of people in the face. Well, the politician said fight. Then all politicians have to stop using words that could lead to violence. We can play this. We can play that game till the cows come home, which is why I don't think he'll be impeached. But that's besides the point. So if he gets impeached, then all of the people with the Capitol riots would go to jail. If he doesn't get impeached for what he said, right? Because you can't have both, like one without the other. So if he doesn't get impeached for what he said, because the people at the Capitol were just you can say they were following. So if he gets impeached, how many times have I had this in my head and I completely lost it? And I've said impeached way too many times. Because if I had this in my head, if he, God, I'm so stupid. If the trial is successful, he goes to jail because he did something illegal, but those people were just following the orders of the president, right? So it's just like right? It's just like a soldier. If he goes to war and kills somebody, that's completely okay because his country told him to do it. His leaders told him to do it, right? If he comes back home and kills somebody, he goes to jail. So there's that. I wish I could. I thought of it. You know when you think of something in your head and then when you say it out loud, it's not the way it is in your head. It's like, yeah, that's how stupid people act every day. I just don't get it, man. I'm so dumb. I'm gonna get through this though. I'm gonna get through it, and it's gonna be. I think maybe I explained it, kind of. I'm not too sure. So if Trump goes to jail, and what he did was illegal, then he misled his followers. But if he doesn't, yeah, because the people who yeah, the people who stormed the Capitol, some of their defenses are we were just listening to our president. You can't put us in jail for listening to our commander in chief, right? Unless he did something illegal. So I think they both like Trump can't if Trump doesn't go to jail or say doesn't get impeached, then can you if he doesn't get impeached and you're like, well, he didn't really incite violence, then those people can go to jail because they misunderstood what their president was saying. So you kind of have to be relaxed on both parties, right? Am I thinking? I got to think about this over again. I'm not too sure how it's going. I don't understand even what I'm trying to say now. It's interesting, but you all know, you would love it. Oh, that'd be so good. Oh, all the love. He's the devil. He's bad. I love a good bad guy. I don't know why. Even though he's seems like someone I would not want to hang out with. Seems like an asshole. They all do. They all do. Oh, anyways, hopefully you guys understood my point on the Capitol and the people who broke into the Capitol, and then also Trump's impeachment, how that's connected. Those two cases, all those cases are connected. Because if you condemn one person for saying something, then you can't condemn the other people for following along with it because they were just listening to their leader. So if you want the Capitol people to go to jail, how can you send them to jail if Trump doesn't get impeached and he's free to go? How could you put them in jail when they were just listening to their president? Right? Yeah. The soldier goes to war and his leaders tell, yeah, you can kill that guy. Boom. And then they go, whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't mean kill. We want you to go over there, show strength. We want to support. Show them your strength. Okay, I'm going to show my strength. You got to fight. You got to fight for your life because your country's going away. And the soldier goes and does it. You're like, whoa, I didn't say actually kill the enemy. I was like, what? Then now I go to, no. He told me to do it. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's like politics, reality TV, you know? It's getting better than reality TV. Well, that has been the Chase Carter Concept Podcast for January 28th. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're still listening, I don't know what's mentally wrong with you. I appreciate it. And I'll be talking to you next week. You guys take it easy. Easy on you. You got this shit knocking low.